is Amisha Gandhi from Signal 8, and here's under. No. Hi, this is Amisha Gandhi with Signal 8, and this is Under the Influence, and we're at DigimarCon 2025 in San Francisco. And I'm here with one of the sponsors, Northbeam, and I'm talking to Zach Sherrod about what they're doing and what their trends are seeing with customers. So Zach, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Super excited to be here.
Awesome. So one of the things that we were talking about earlier is ad optimization, customer journey. Tell us a little bit about Northbeam and what you do.
Yeah, totally. So Northbeam is a marketing intelligence platform. We've been around for about 6 years. We support over 800 direct consumer businesses today. Our bread and butter is multi-touch attribution, helping advertisers make decisions on what platform, campaign, ad set, and ad to scale up or scale down, all with our own set of first-party data, as well as our own media mix modeling tool that helps brands understand how much you should be spending on each individual channel.
And then, one thing that we talked about, that's top of funnel, right? And that's really helpful in getting optimizing. But there's some multi-touch attribution that you do as well, which I, as a former market leader, find really interesting. And that can be of value to us because that really helps us optimize and think about our campaigns all the way through the sales cycle.
Yeah, totally. So a lot of times our customers, believe it or not, are still coming to us from a last click methodology. When you're looking at the last click, a lot of times your revenue is going to be attributed to things like direct visits to the website, organic search, Google brand search, email or SMS touchpoints. We know as marketers that likely those people have been exposed to some ad interaction, unless you're maybe a Nike that has very strong word of mouth. So what we're doing here at Northbeam is stitching together every single touch point over an infinite attribution window to help marketers understand what is working today to optimize towards goals months down the line.
That's awesome. So, for me, if you're looking, a lot of people do either first touch attribution or last touch attribution, but you're able to see it throughout the funnel. And then do you plug into other sort of like MarTech, like how do you fit into the marketing stack?
Yeah, totally. So our biggest integrations, for one, we integrate with our customer source of truth from a revenue standpoint. We align CFOs and CMOs on the same set of data. So all of our marketing attribution ties back to the actual P&L. In terms of integrations, we connect with all of the major ad platforms today, and we ingest things like pulling in their spend, pulling in their ad creative, as well as we're actually getting sent log level impression data from a lot of the key ad platforms in a deterministic manner. We also pass that data back to the ad platforms to optimize based on our first-party data, not their own data, which typically drives a 5 to 10% lift in conversions.
That's awesome. So, one thing that we talked about, your customers, right? You're very passionate about your customers and wanting to help them out. And you were telling me about one of your customers and how you help them. And it was interesting because I love to cook, and it's actually a Gordon Ramsay company. So I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, totally. For those that are not aware, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, you've probably seen their ads. Or if you watched the Super Bowl, they actually had a Super Bowl ad placement as well. But Hexclad came to Northbeam. They've been on us for several years now. But they sell $600 pan sets. It's like an 11-piece pan set is their hero SKU. And as you can imagine, someone likely is not just clicking a Facebook ad and buying $600 worth of cookware. Right. At least I'm not personally. Maybe there are some people that do that. So one of the big things with Northbeam, again, we're stitching together all these customer journeys over an infinite period of time. But we have an infinite attribution window. So a big thing with Northbeam is measuring conversion lag by channel and understanding what is the time to purchase on a channel like Meta versus TV versus TikTok. But we've helped them scale and 10x their business revenue by incorporating longer attribution windows and better methodology to run their business.
So what are some of the benefits of that, like for their actual business, like some of the ROI, or like, if I'm a marketing leader, I'm going to get back X, Y, and Z, so I can report that back to, as you know, the CFO and the CEO. So
yeah, one of the biggest things that we're solving for, a lot of these larger brands that are advertising on 5 to 10 channels, customers don't buy and just click on one ad and convert. So if you're looking at things from a last click methodology, you're only seeing that last touch point. So being able to justify the spend on upper funnel channels, someone viewed a TikTok ad and then clicked a YouTube ad and then typed in your brand into Google, being able to understand what is driving the initial demand capture versus which is just lower funnel and driving bottom of funnel conversions.
Yeah, I think, either people get stuck on more of the other set of data, and then you're making decision based on that data. But if you get both and you can see it all the way through, then I think you're really allowing yourself to make the better decision overall, right? Like a lot of times you look at win-loss, or you look at, time to win, time to close, and we figure it out. But then we look at last touch or first touch. First touch is like, okay, that's how they first, and then we're like, oh yeah, that's the thing that we should do. Or last touch, but we don't know how they got there, so we're just like kind of spraying and praying, right? So this gives you a little bit more direct.
Yeah, 100%. And that's a lot of the flexibility that we're providing brands and marketers today, being able to have different attribution models, windows, and even accounting modes and when we're observing the revenue credit. But a lot of our brands, we like to anchor to one attribution model and window. However, it's very helpful to be able to understand what is this individual brand's consideration phase. This can change based on their channel mix, based on their AOV, like Hexclad with $600 pans. Their time to purchase is much longer than someone selling $15 fidget spinners.
Right. That makes sense.
So being able to have both views is helpful for making quick day-to-day optimizations as a media buyer, but also being able to forecast and measure the full long-tail impacts of channel like TV advertising is a big thing that we're doing, and really distilling down into one unified dashboard for marketers.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, and thanks again to Northbeam for being one of our sponsors at DigimarCon 2025 in San Francisco. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.